Okay, so the difference between day trading and swing trading, okay, and I think the call cut off earlier for the people watching the video, obviously gave some sauce to the people in the chat. And you guys can like ask me questions whenever you want. Just DM me whenever you want. But um, I know some people are recording. I know, shout out to Cedus. I know I see you in there recording. You're probably taking some notes. So whatever the kind of people missed, hopefully they're in the notes. Okay. So I don't want to repeat myself too much, but the difference between day trading, swing trading is like day trading, I trade on the 1 day, right? Trade on a 1 day time frame. So like sorry, not the 1 day, but the 15-minute time frame. And I look at, the 1 day period. And then for swing trading, I look at the 5 day period, 15-minute time frame. For both of day trade and swing trading, I look at the high time frame. So the winning setup on the high time frame is a long off support. The high time frame told me that we're on an uptrend, right? And that's kind of what I'm expecting. I'm expecting that the daily the daily price action reflects the previous day price action, and the next 5 day price action reflects the previous 5 day action. So that's kind of what we talked about earlier, what I was breaking down. And I was explaining how, I'm more likely to bail on a swing setup rather than a day trade setup. Why? Because swing trades, the crypto market can change, in the blink of an eye. It's really very risky. You shouldn't sleep comfortably while having a crypto trade open. So for example, while I have swing trades, I'll set up alerts. I'll set up an alert and say, um, this if the price breaks down below you know, 58 9 58 800, right? Let's say I long this move, and then for the week, right? I'm longing because it's an uptrend. For the day, I would be shorting, but I couldn't find a short. Maybe I'll short it down to support, but I'd rather just not trade. If I'm in a long here and I'm greedy and I want to take a long right now, you're like, Junior, take a trade right now. And this is probably the best trade I would take. I would put a stop loss here, right? And I would take this trade right here and I would just wait. Okay. But would I take this on a swing trade? So let's see what would happen. If I started to take this trade and it went back up and it went back up to 59, what would I do? I would set a stop loss at 58, 800 because I'm not willing to hold this trade for the next 2 days just for it to make some weird move and then come back down and stop me out. So that's why, like in crypto, when we have a swing trade set up, it's more likely for you to bail out of it. But when you have a day trade set up, you can kind of like fully commit to it. Don't ask me why. It's just something that I've been doing for a long time and it works. It's the way I pay myself every day. I go into the crypto market, I commit to my day trades, I get paid. If I commit to my swing trades, sometimes I don't get paid. Swing trades are not the best. It's actually disgusting, right? It's literally disgusting. Like the swing trades don't always work and you lose a lot of money. So if you want to avoid losing money, try not to hold your trades overnight. Try to keep your trades for the day and try to stick to the 15-minute time frame when you're day trading. Don't do the 1 minute time frame, 5 minute time frame. All that shit's way too deceiving. So what did we do? What did we analyze on Bitcoin? This is a potential support resistance support box, right? If the price breaks below here, then it's likely going to be fucked. It's likely going to go back down to 56 and 54, right? And it's going to continue the downtrend. So what are we looking for to continue the downtrend? We're looking for a lower high. So right now we're longing, right? We're expecting a bounce off this box. If it forms a high here, since the 15-minute is a green candle now, we're waiting for it to turn red, right? And start to form the downtrend. So we just wait, you can enter here, boom, 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 put a stop loss here, whatever, or a stop loss here, right? And you could long it because the uptrend just started on a low time frame. So you could long it, right? Once you start to see a high forming, you can get out, recalibrate, and find another trade, right? Longing off support is probably our highest confidence setup. So even if I put a trade here and I said, oh man, this is looking like a good long, yeah, it's probably gonna hit. It is probably going to hit, dude. And the best kind of setup that I would have recommended here on the smallest time frame, the quickest trade I would have recommended is a trade back up to this level and a stop loss at the previous low. So this trade is way, way, way more likely to hit than any other trade. So if you were to take this trade on like 100x leverage, it would probably hit and you would print a lot of money, right? So we'll talk about that in the next calls, but don't worry about like day trading right now, okay? Don't worry about like catching trades and like how long you should hold a trade for and like you're not going to become an expert in like three calls, okay? That's definitely not going to happen. So, for the sake of today's call and for the sake of the time, I'm going to run over what we've discussed so far, okay? I'm going to try and explain to you guys in a very, very condensed way what we've learned and how I apply those things to find winning trades. Because now that we know how to find the winning setup, okay, how to find the winning setup. What is that? You go on the highest time frame, you find what works, right? You find the patterns and how they play out, and you apply that to the lower time frame market. To find what? To find day trades and swing trades. What are swing trades? Trades that are like for like more than 1 day to 5 days, 1+ day to 5 days, right? And then day trade is like 1 minute to 1 day, or sometimes like overnight, right? Sometimes overnight into the next day. So day trades and swing trades. Which one does Junior prefer the most? Day trades. Day trades, why? Because day trades have a higher percentage of hitting, and swing trades are most likely to bail. Okay. And I said I don't want to really like go into why, but this is my style for crypto. I really do believe that day trading is way more profitable than swing trading in crypto. I think you can get paid a lot more during the day. But the thing that nobody wants to tell you is that day trading, okay, comes with what? With market imbalances. So the reason I haven't showed you how to do TA on low time frame like perfectly is because there's market imbalances. And these market imbalances are something very, 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 very important. Very important. If you want to day trade, you have to be a master of market imbalances. So a day trader, let's write down a definition right real quick. A day trader is a master of trading intraday. So within the day. Master of trading within the day. So this means market imbalances are very important. Why? Because you are using volume to trade. So on the day trade, you're using volume, and volume creates what? market imbalance which shifts the equilibrium price. All right. So remember how I said we're going to talk about indicators today. So when the volume creates this market imbalance that shifts the equilibrium price, what does that mean and how can this be visualized? Now we are getting into some sauce. Okay. Let's open a new chart. On TradingView, there's something called indicators. And if you go to indicators here, you can type in VWAP. Okay, and there's one that like I really like VWAP, MWAP. Let's do this one, right? Okay, let's just do this one. So what is the VWAP? Okay. VWAP means what? VWAP means volume weighted average price. So that means that what we just talked about for day trading, the most important indicator is what? Is VWAP. VWAP is the most interesting indicator. Okay. When you look at the VWAP here, okay, and the MVWAP. So VWAP is what? Volume weighted average price. So the price, the equilibrium price of Bitcoin compared to US dollar based on the volume. So the equilibrium price based on the volume is where this line is at right now. So if we're under the equilibrium price, if this is the equilibrium price, if we are under the equilibrium price, this means we're bearish right now. We're bearish. We expect the price to keep moving down. But when the price is above the VWAP, then we're bullish. So this is a new relationship we have. If price is under VWAP, we are bearish. So see, we are now using indicators to try and understand what the 15-minute trend, the 30-minute trend, right? So the low time frame now is we're using what? We're using indicators for day trading, right? What's the first indicator I use? VWAP. So for day trading indicators, we use VWAP. So VWAP under is bearish, right? Under the VWAP. Over is bullish. What's the VWAP? It's simply a line, right? It's a line that goes through the price and it's the volume weighted average, all right? If you want to understand what that means, you could just Google it. It just means like what the equilibrium price is based on the volume. So based on the volume, it obviously does the math for you. You don't have to calculate the freaking VWAP. The math is already done for you, dude. So all you need to look at is where the line is. What is this line? This is the VWAP, right? This is the VWAP. This whole line, okay, is a VWAP. And it's a moving VWAP average, okay? So it's a VWAP with an MVWAP. This is the one I choose. This is the one I look at. But I look at it because it's important. Sometimes it's very important. Why? Because you need to understand where the hell you are right now. Right now, we're under VWAP. Okay? We're under VWAP. Forget about how it's moving. Forget about the direction, where it's moving. Just look at the price right now. Where is it in relation to VWAP? Is it under or over? If it's under, then we're bearish. If it's over, then we're bullish. So right now, it's under. Okay? And the price tends to always go back to VWAP. Always. So VWAP is not just an indicator of bullish and bearish, but it's also can be used as a support and resistance. So you see here, VWAP was used as what? As a resistance, right? So It came up here. It tried to bounce. It tried to be a support, but it failed. And then it went back down. And then it tried to support, right? Tried to go off of this line, but it failed. Then it broke down. Then it tried to break, above, but it failed. It resisted. Now it's resistance, 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 resistance. But you see how it's acting as a resistance. So VWAP can act as a resistance and it can act as a support. So you see here, price moves around VWAP because that's the equilibrium price. And then once the price breaks out of equilibrium, that's based on a volume shift, right? So when you have more volume coming in than usual, price is going to go up. And the one way to find that out and be early is to buy the price when it's near VWAP. Okay. And when the price goes above VWAP, that's when you're in the clear. But when the price goes up under the VWAP, then that's when you're in trouble, right? So when the VWAP is red, here you see it's dark red, means it's bearish. When it's blue, it means it's bullish. So the VWAP is a very important indicator. I know a lot of people hate it. A lot of people talk shit about it, but I love it. I think it's math. It's just based on math, dude. It's literally the volume weighted average price. So that it's the equilibrium price of this asset based on the volume. It's couldn't get more beautiful, couldn't get more simple. That's the first indicator that I use to day trade. Okay. Let's just drop that right there. That's very important. Okay. Now, what's the second step? I have EMA. This is the second indicator. What is the EMA? It's the exponential moving average. Okay. What does that mean? You don't need to know exactly what it means, but it's the moving average of what? Of the price. That means that it's the same thing as the VWAP. It's an equilibrium level, but what? It serves as a different strength level from the VWAP. So, for example, the VWAP, okay, can be used as a strong resistance or strong support level. Very, very, very strong. But the EMA can be used as weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker levels of support and resistance. So you see how, like, when we do a chart, right, there's always like support and resistance, and they're always like different relationship based on where the price is. So this one is the furthest, this one is one of the closest, and this one is the closest to the price, right? So this is the closest support, this is medium, and this is the farthest. So this is EMAs, same thing. EMA is like the closest and the farthest, okay? So what are the most important EMAs? Well, for me, obviously there's like the 20, the 50, the 100, right? Um, let's do that. Let's open these. The 20, the 50, and the 100, okay? But there's also the 9 EMA and there's the 20 EMA, okay? Um, let's see. Okay, so there's the 9 EMA and there's the, which one is the 9 EMA? So the 9 EMA is the green, the 21 EMA is the purple, the 50 EMA is the blue, and the 80 EMA is like the orange. You see it, okay? So what are these EMAs and why did I put them? Why is this indicator being used and how do I use it? So the VWAP, like I said, is what? It's a support, okay, and a resistance. It should be used as such. And when you're under VWAP, you're bearish. So right now we're bearish. We already looked at the VWAP, okay? And when you're bearish, That means that you want to look for short setups, or you want to look for reversals, okay? So let's do that. Let's look at potential. So right here, we have a bounce off the support, okay? And the most important thing when we're doing analysis is like to point out as many things as we can find on the chart. So we have a bounce on the support here. Bounce off support, potential, right? Potential. Potentially going to happen. If it keeps going, right? It's going to, but it validates where, invalidates at previous level. Invalidates at 58. So if it drops below 58,100, then this bounce off support is not a thing anymore. Okay, forget about it. Throw it in the trash. Let's add another thing here. What's another thing? We're seeing a dead cat bounce pattern. This is another pattern here. Okay. It's called a dead cat bounce pattern. It's a very popular one. It just means that the price did a full arc like this. Okay. But we also saw what McDonald's pattern, right? And this McDonald's pattern likely has a small relief bounce and then a very bearish. So we have a dead cat bounce pattern. We have a McDonald's pattern, right? That is likely gonna have small relief. Okay, this is based on high time frame. So you see on the low time frame, I'm writing as many notes as I can as well, just to kind of see what the frick is gonna happen with the price without looking at any trend lines, without looking at any support, right? Without looking at any, because I remember what I just said. I said that technical analysis on lower time frame does not work. Like you cannot trade using technical analysis on the 1 minute chart, bro, or on the 15-minute chart. Like you have to be retarded to think that's gonna work. And I hate to use the word retarded, but like I have to be harsh sometimes because it really does make me sad when I see people using technical analysis on short time frame and being so confident. Like when I draw my price predictions, I'm taking in every single note that I wrote down on my paper to make my conclusion. So I'm teaching you guys how to write down notes here, okay? So we're gonna try and write down like maybe at least like 10 to 15 different things, okay? So what happened in the previous 1 day? Previous 1 day, rejected off support. So rejected off support in previous 1 day. What happened in the previous 5 days? Uptrend in the last 5 days, right? What do I expect in the next 5 days? Repetitive market conditions, according to Jay. So I expect 1 day to be symmetrical. Previous day, 1 day will be bearish as previous day was bearish. So maybe look for short setups on the 1 day. If not, then look for a long setup for the 5 day if the sellers are weak today. So another thing to mention is that on any given day, this is just like another like rule that you can remind yourself. On any given day, there can be max volume or no volume. You can't control other people. So never make predictions based on volume. Only use your analysis. Only use your technical stuff. Don't never use the news because the news is volume based, right? Gambling is volume based. When people gamble, they gamble based on whether this player is gonna hit this many home runs, this many whatever. News is volume based. News is like, oh my God, this news is coming in. People are gonna buy Bitcoin so much. You know, you're expecting high volume. Or, oh my God, this news is coming. People are gonna sell off. You're expecting volume, right? So never trade based off of volume, never trade based off of news. Never, 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 never. In crypto, never. Remember how I talked about the bigger fool theory earlier? The bigger fool theory? There's another one. There's buy the news and sell the rumor. So you know how like you made money off of like fools? So same thing. Buy the news, you sell the rumor. The fools, what are they gonna do? They're gonna sorry, you buy the rumor, you sell the news, right? The fools are gonna do what? They're going to buy the news. But you should be selling on the news. You should be selling when Trump wins the election. You should be selling at that point, right? You should be selling for peak profits, or you should be celebrating at that point. Well, people are getting into Bitcoin at 100,000. You should already be celebrating, right? So how do you do this? You buy the rumor. We buy the rumor now that Trump is going to win the elections. If we're right, which we're likely going to be right because it's a rumor that Trump is going to win, and this is the biggest rumor, right? We buy the rumor and we sell the news. We sell the news when Trump gets elected, that's when we sell. Okay? This is how you make money off of fools. Fools will be buying on that day, so you could sell to these fools and make money. So never, never, never make a decision only based on volume. Never, right? But when we use the VWAP indicator, it just tells us the relationship of the price. So the price based on VWAP is bearish right now. So even if nothing happens today, price will be bearish until it breaks above VWAP again. So no matter what happens with volume, no matter what the heck happens, we cannot take a long until price breaks above VWAP on the 15-minute. Okay? So that's one of the things. So we're not allowed to short right now. Sorry, we're not allowed to long until the price goes above VWAP. So this makes the what? The lower time frame is now opposing the higher time frame because price is under VWAP and I am looking for long setups. So lower time frame is not favorable for me as a smart trader in Bitcoin. If I want to find a short, I have to be smart, quick, and efficient to catch a successful short. You see, this is how I analyze the market. So if I want to catch a short on the low time frame, I have to be quick, I have to be smart, and I have to be efficient. So how can I do that? How can I catch a short here? Right? So based on what were my notes saying? So McDonald's pattern, right? Dead cat bounce pattern, that's a bearish pattern, right? These are likely going to play out here. So roughly, if I look at my last support area and I look at this current volume, right? Roughly, what I'm looking for is a short idea for a day trade. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, right? To catch a nice juicy short. And that entry is going to be around this support. So I probably won't trade Bitcoin. I'll probably wait for it to do something like this, and I'll probably set up an alert, right? Or uh, a trade to short it. Now you're gonna say, bro, you just said you're gonna long it earlier. Well, yeah, dude. I'm going through my notes right now and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to find. Like, where is my setup, right? So if I'm gonna set a limit order right now to buy it here, then I have to set a stop loss, right? And I have to make the assumption that this uptrend is going to continue. Now, we're in September, and I've told you guys earlier during the month, September is a bearish month, okay, based on fractals, based on previous things. So with that, what happened? The market pumped, right? September started off freaking like up here, right? Right? Like around this level. And now we're like exactly at the same level. We tried to break above, but now we're failing. So I think September is going to stay above this level. Like you see how like this is the peak. I think during September, we will not break above 60 again. I could be wrong. This could be a wrong idea, right? This idea could be something that ends up wrong, but we have to write it down. We have to write it down, and we have to keep this here. We have to, right? God, I put it down there. We have to keep this up here, okay? Because this is part of our notes. This is what we look at when we're going to take a trade. And I always have a notebook with all these notes next to me before I take a trade. So let's read the notes real quick. Okay, again, just to know what trade is the best trade for us and what we're going to do on the daily, where the crypto market's going to go. And that's what's going to help us to go and find some good trades on altcoins. So we always do it on Bitcoin first. Okay. Now we're doing it off Bitcoin, bounce off support potentially, but invalidates at 5,800. So the first idea is what is bullish. So this is bullish. Put a green arrow. Bullish above what? Above 58,100. So we can put a alert now at 58,100 and say this. Okay, create an alert here, and we can say alert name, get fucked if price goes under here. And then you could just set that alert, and that's it. That alert is going to trigger you. It's going to hit you with a notification when the price breaks under 58,100. So I just set up an alert based off this first idea. Okay, that's a bullish idea. So I want to set an alert for what? For when this idea gets invalidated. Okay, so if I'm longing right now, this shit gets invalidated at 58,100. So it's pretty close to now. I don't like taking longs that can get invalidated so easily. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to take a long right here. Even though the bounce off of support could give us a nice long, we're not going to long yet. Dead cat bounce pattern, bearish. What does dead cat bounce mean? It just means that it bounces and then it just does a little bounce and then boom, it goes back down even more. Okay. So that's bearish. That is currently in play. We're just waiting for the bounce here and then the breakdown. So that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm observing. Hasn't happened yet, but that's what I'm observing. That's another observation, right? This one hasn't happened yet. This one hasn't happened yet. It's just an observation. This one is an observation, hasn't happened yet. Rejected off of support. This already happened. Okay. So this rejected off of support. Because it happened, I put something on a chart, right? What is that? That's the resistance here. I don't really need to put an alert, but I know that this is a resistance. This is, as long as we're under this point, we are in a downtrend. Okay. In a downtrend under this. Okay. Because we're in a resistance and this is a downtrend. So as long as the price is under this, we are technically in a downtrend and we are bearish. When Bitcoin goes back above 60K, then I can be bullish again. Okay. So in a downtrend and we are bearish, you're starting to see how this is developing, right? On the lower time frame. Even though on the higher time frame, we said what? The winning setups are the long off support. But right now I'm analyzing the price itself. It's in a downtrend. We are bearish. Okay. Though we have an uptrend in the last 5 days. Remember, I just said we have an uptrend in the last 5 days. So be mindful of that as well. Okay. That means that we're probably going to be looking to form a higher low. So we're going to be looking for higher lows, right? look for higher low forming. All right. I know this is a bit complicated, guys, but you're gonna be able to do this on your own self. This is very easy. Very, very simple stuff once you get to know the chart, right? These are just notes. Your notes don't have to be right. Your notes don't have to be perfect, right? They just have to be enough. They have to be enough for you to make a concrete decision that is based on confidence rather than retardedness or a guess. We're not guessing, okay? So we have 3 bearish ideas. We have 2 bullish ideas. Okay. The repetitive market conditions, according to Jay, that's bullish, right? Bullish because when the market is repetitive, when the market does things like this, it means that it's just going to be bullish, right? Based on what we've seen on the higher time frame, based on what we've seen on the 5 days, right? Higher time frame is more likely to be more accurate, so we're bullish. The symmetrical to previous to 1 day, that's bearish, right? Bearish for the day, right? Bearish for the day. That was bullish for the week, right? Bullish for the week. And like you might ask me, like, what's the point of doing this, man? Like, are we gonna take a trade or not? Well, this is what you need to know, dude. Like, if you can't tell me this about the market, then what the fuck is your strategy? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So look for short setups on the 1 day. This is probably, something bearish to keep in mind. If I'm looking for the short setups on the 1 day, I'll probably take this, you know, and be like, damn, like maybe people who are doing the analysis on the market today can get trapped, because a lot of people will be looking for shorts. A lot of day traders that are not looking at the macro are going to be looking for shorts. So maybe this can be a way for me to look at the liquidation heat map and understand what's going to happen. So look for short setups on the 1 day. This this is this is what? This is against, oh my goodness. This is what? This is against, right? The high time frame trend. So maybe people will get trapped doing shorts on the daily. Okay. Look for a long setup on the 5 day. So, okay, my notes are telling me maybe you shouldn't short, maybe you should wait. Maybe the time to short was actually up here on the swing highs, you know, on a double top potential formation. And I shorted way too early here on the consolidation, right? So if now is not a good time to short yet, then what can I expect? Then I should expect, right, to set an alert at this level, 58,100. I already did that. Why did I do that? Because it's the closest level where I could see some real action. So that is where I set my alert at 58,100. Why? Because the only bearish option that I have left, okay, for this uptrend to continue is at 58,100. Once we lose that level, it's done. Good luck. You're done. Okay? Once this level is lost, now we're in a downtrend. We're really in a downtrend, right? And the next level that we're going to test is 56,000. And the next level below that is going to be 53,000. You don't want to be playing with Bitcoin at these levels. So what do? We set an alert. If the price breaks below here, what are we going to look for? We're going to look for a break. We're going to look for a retest. And then we'll enter on this retest for a short. That's what we'll do if we really want to short it, okay? But if we don't want to do that, then we'll wait for the break. We'll wait for the 58,100, or or what? Or we can use the indicators. So there's two ways I can do this. I could either take a low time frame trade based on my notes and like kind of understand like, okay, my alert level is 58,100, so I'll take a trade around 58,100. I'll wait to see where the price touches, reacts, and then moves. That's when I'll take my trade. Or what? Or I can look at my indicators and make a trade idea based on that. Okay? So you have the reaction off of 58,100 or the indicators. What are the indicators? The indicators were the VWAP and the EMAs so far, right? What did the VWAP tell us? The price is under VWAP. That means it's bearish. And the VWAP acts as a resistance, so it bounced off of resistance. And now we're in a wave down, okay? Where the VWAP is essentially going to start to catch up to it. So the VWAP is going to keep dropping, okay? What is the EMA? The EMA is the level that we bounce off of. So like if you look at this one right here, okay? You look at the 9 EMA, it's the green. What's the 9 EMA doing? The 9 EMA is just following the price, right? And when the price goes above it, it moves very high. And when the price goes below it, it moves very, very low. So it's the same thing. These EMAs are an indicator of bearish and bullish, just like the VWAP, right? But we can use the behavior of the price around these EMAs to determine when volatility is going to happen. So the 9 EMA is a great indicator of volatility. What does that mean? That means that when the price like, goes under or above, like when you have a candle that forms and the candle is like here and then here and here, that means that you're going to get a lot of volatility, outside of the 9 EMA. So when the 9 EMA is like, it's close to it, expect some volatility, right? When you get close to the 9 EMA, expect some volatility to come through. Expect it to come through and slap you in the face. And we could see that more accurately on a new chart. So if we go here and we look at Bitcoin with the 9 EMA, you'll understand like, oh my God, the price here exploded at these EMA crossings, and these EMAs are crossing with each other. So you have an EMA cross, point of volatility, right? And you could see here, like when you look at the higher time frame and you look at these EMAs, you'll see that as you move on the higher time frame and you look at these EMAs, you'll see that the price is always moving in a certain direction, right? So here you have an EMA crossing, a 9 EMA, and a what? Which EMA is that? 20 EMA crossing. That's when you got the most volatility, right? So when the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA cross, what happened? Volatility. So that's kind of what I use to determine like, oh my God, when are some good trades gonna hit? You see here, the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA are crossing. Sheesh. Big volatility. 9 EMA, 20 EMA crossing, big volatility. 9 EMA, 20 EMA crossing, big volatility, right? If these two cross, what's going to happen? Big volatility, right? So it's pretty straightforward, right? You analyze a trend, you got a high, you got a low, lower high. We're expecting a lower low, right? It's literally so simple, guys. I'm looking at the 4 hour right now, right? So I'm looking at the trend. I'm expecting something like this. If I look at this high, then I can see, okay, maybe this is a high or low, but I look at this high and I look at this high and then I look at this high and I'm like, okay, so this high relative to this one is a lower high, but this high relative to this one is a higher high. So the trend broke. The trend broke here on this EMA crossing, 29 August. The trend broke. That is why I told you guys September is bearish. Like, you know what? When I really reveal like why I'm saying stuff, I kind of like feel like I'm not crazy anymore. But this is why, like this is literally why, because the trend broke. And now, we were getting higher, like here there was a low, and here there was a low, but this is a higher low. Then we got a high, then we got a higher high, and then higher low, and then higher high, and then higher low, and then higher high, and then higher low, and then higher high. But it kind of leveled off. And then we broke the low. So the uptrend completely broke. All right. But then you had the EMA, the 9 and the 20 EMA crossed. This means that a big volatility happened. Big volatility is going to happen. Right. And the last time this happened was here. Right. And when we were under the 9 EMA, we were getting insane volatility. But when we crossed above it, we had insane volatility to the upside. So when you're looking at the EMA right now and you're like, yo, dude, where's the price at relative to the EMA? The price is always going to be around the EMAs. But when you pay attention closely, where is it at? The price is under the 9 EMA. So it's bearish. Okay. It is what? It is bearish. If I look at the VWAP now, again, right? And let's say I refresh this shit, right? To see where the VWAP is. You'll see that the VWAP, well, we're not going to be able to see it right now. Well, the VWAP is above the price. We already saw that. So it's right now it's bearish, right? So if it's bearish, then what do we expect? We expect the price to keep moving down, dude. That's what bearish means. Bearish means the price keeps moving down until it breaks above the VWAP. And we can't make an assumption or say, I'm going to take a trade that I'm assuming the price is going to go back to VWAP. No, you can't do that, dude. That's not a high probability win setup. You can't just say, oh man, I'm going to trade the VWAP and I'm going to I'm going to predict that the price is going back to VWAP. I'm going to predict that the price is going to go back to the 200 EMA. That's not how it works, dude. That's not how trading works. Like, I know a lot of people look at these lines and they're like, oh, it's gonna go back to the purple line and then the blue line and then the yellow line, right? That's how it works. Like, no, dude, that's not how it works, right? Trading isn't like that. It's not that simple. You have to understand the trend. You have to trade with the trend. What is the trend? The trend on high time frame is bullish. The trend on low time frame now is what? Is breaking to the downside. It's starting to form, right? Some bearishness. So this is a lower high, right? Now this is a lower low. This was a low, but this is higher than this one, right? But we always look at this current low relative to the previous. So this low is lower than this one. This high is lower than this one. So this is a lower low and this is a lower high. Lower high relative to this one. Lower low relative to this one. Very simple, right? Very fucking simple. There's nothing more simple than this. This is the most simple shit. So when you understand this and you understand that the trend is bearish, right? You understand that you have the EMAs, you understand that you have all these stuff. Now you can start to look for trades. Now you can start to look for actual like setups, right? So we remember how we said we're expecting a small relief. We're expecting a small relief. So we're not going to long this. We're not going to take this. Could be a good trade, a long off support, but it's not looking like the uptrend is holding. We just broke the uptrend. So we either, form an uptrend again. So we form a high again here, which is a lower high. Then if we form that high, we're going to be looking for a lower low, right? So we'll probably short on that move, right? But let's say that this kind of rejects here, right? Kind of rejects. We can exit, right? We could set a trailing stop loss at here. Once the position goes down, we set a trailing stop loss around this level. And we wait for the price to break down even more. That would be a good short setup. But let's say we don't want a short. Let's say we want a long. We want a high probability setup. We want to win. then we'll probably find some longs around this level. We'll probably pick up some longs around 56 level, or we'll pick up some longs around the 58, 100 level, or 58 500 level right now with a stop loss at 58 100 level. It really depends on your risk, right? It depends on what you're willing to trade. Trading is not about being 100% right. It's about trading with confidence and being willing to take the risk for a trade. Like, then over time, you're going to be like, oh my God, I found a winning strategy. Obviously, in the future calls, I'm going to teach you what the winning strategies are. I told you, like, there are some genius motherfuckers like Elliott Wave Theory and all these guys who have used, their day trading strategies and their technical analysis and stuff like that to find the highest probability of trades, like 80%, 90%, and above. But to know these winning strategies, you have to understand VWAP. You have to understand EMAs, right? And that's kind of what I'm going to do in the next call. I'm going to go in very, very deep detail about what VWAPs are, EMAs, all the other indicators that I use. Okay. And yeah, we're pretty much going to be done with technical analysis. Like this is pretty much wraps it up for technical analysis, guys. Like moving forward, moving forward, apologize on that. Moving forward, we're going to be using indicators. We're going to be using notes, the notes that we wrote down rather than like looking at trend line and support, because all that trend line and support stuff is very old school. It's very old school and it's very old, right? Obviously, when we have a trend shape, right, we can easily tell ourselves what's going on with the chart. We can easily predict stuff. We can draw charts for like, noobs and people who like don't understand what's going on with Bitcoin. But like I'll give you an example here. For example, let's remove these indicators. Right. I only use indicators when I'm day trading. But when I'm doing technical analysis, I don't need indicators. So the only reason we talked about indicators today is because we're gonna learn how to day trade now. We're not learning how to do technical analysis anymore. We're learning how to day trade. So TIA, there's a major, major, major support zone here. Okay. And this support area is marked by what? It's marked by this right here. Okay. And you can see that some people got absolutely fucked here and trapped, and they sold for a complete loss in the beginning of the month of September. And they were probably people who like sold based on the FOMO, right? Someone like me tells you, oh my God, September is bearish. Oh my God. And you're like, fuck, dude, I'm gonna sell everything I have because this guy's telling me that the market's bearish. Well, you're a clown. You probably didn't read any of my other posts, or you probably just you're a FOMO emotional enthusiast, right? You love acting on emotion. Junior tweets something emotional. Oh my God, I'm gonna take emotional response and I'm gonna sell my portfolio. I'm gonna take losses. That's the stupidest thing you can do to yourself, right? We don't trade based on emotion, we trade based on the chart. So if you were to draw this out, you would realize that, oh my God, this is a potential support for me. Now, if I want to buy or long TIA, I would long it, right? In these levels, obviously, which is why I took a long around this level, because I thought it was going to bounce off the square and just kind of take off, right? Again, which I think that's what it's kind of going to do. But my final stop loss is around here. Okay, this red line. I don't want it to go below this red line. Otherwise, it's completely going to break this uptrend that we're doing, right? If it goes below this high, it forms a lower high and it's just going to be ugly. Okay, so I'm bullish on TIA, and the reason for that is because I found this coin and I'm like, oh my God, look, it's like right at support and it's forming a strong support here. It's forming a strong buy zone. Now, if it holds this level, right, what's the next support? The next support that I really expected to sweep, obviously these are the swing highs, so let's just put one there. But then we have something up here, right? So 7.4. And then above that, we have even this area right here, right? And I'm not sure if I did this a long time ago or not, but I actually had a trade idea here in February to short TIA from $18, right? So that kind of like went well. Now I'm looking to long it. Now I'm seeing the start of a new uptrend that's going to happen. And this uptrend is only happening because there's strong buy support here. There's strong buy zone. So if I was to do the technical analysis on high time frame, right? Right? Remember the quick recap. What was it? Boom. We have a trend line here, right? We have a trend line here, right? We have a shape, and this shape is like a rectangle, right? The reason we get a shape is because it gives us the volume that we want for the price to move up again. And we're looking for a change in the color of the candle. Okay, we got the first green candle, right? In a long time on the weekly. So the weekly candle is green, right? This is high time frame notes. Green candle is green. Yeah, green candle is appearing on weekly, right? Price is nearing end of shape. Volatility soon. Uptrend is starting. Well, color of candle is now green. So if we look for any like if we're looking for any candles, well, the first thing we want to look at is this right here. We want to look at the candle close to stay above 4.6. Okay. So that's one thing we want to look at is the candle close. So if weekly candle closes above 4.6, that is strong bullish confirmation. Okay, so you start stacking the confirmations. And that helps you in the long term. That helps you, over the year, if you want to keep trading TIA and you want to buy it up to $6, $7, $20, whatever. These notes will help you, right? Coming back to these notes when you're looking at the chart. Weekly candle close about 4.6. If I want to trade it on the 4-hour, right, then I'm looking at these candles. I'm looking at the next 4-hour candle to go green. Okay. If I want to trade it over the next few days, like I'm waiting for the next 4-hour candle to go green, right? This is a fuck downtrend. Like this is a lot. And I'll explain market imbalances in the next call and what market imbalances does to the market. But when you're trading a low time frame, remember technical analysis isn't really going to help you. It's not going to help you figure out anything. But the way I like kind of see my entry zones is based on support, right? Support boxes. So this is my entire entry zone for TIA for a long. Considering that high time frame supports long off support, this is why I'm looking for trades like TIA. We're at long off support. This is the support line that I want to be longing off of, right? Because we found a trap. We found some sort of trap here for people who are shorting it. So these people got trapped. We're eating off of their blood, right? So I want to look for some longs off support above this level. Under this level, I would not be interested. That is why I have a long on TIA open right now. And that is one of the trades that I've taken right now. So with that, guys, I know we didn't touch on VWAP and EMAs that much. We'll likely just touch on them in the next call. And I want to do these calls more often. Okay, now that we're kind of done with technical analysis, we recorded the basics. I'm probably going to go back in the last 3 lessons, re-record an entire video or entire course, drop it for free for you guys, so you guys can have like a full technical analysis course. That wraps up the technical analysis course. Okay, there isn't really much more that you need to learn, other than like just winning strategies, take profit, and take stop losses. So that's what we're going to cover in the next call. we're gonna kind of wrap up uh technical analysis as a whole and winning strategies. And then after the next call, we will stop using TradingView together and we will start to use the exchange. So next call will probably be the last call where we are using TradingView and just charting stuff and finding setups. So next call I'll be like taking like live trades with you guys, like long, short, um, all that kind of stuff. And what I'm gonna be doing is after this call, I'm gonna drop some trade ideas that we're going to essentially look at next week. So we're gonna look at how the price moves in accordance with VWAP, with EMAs to understand price behavior. And then next week, we're going to go into the winning strategy. So we're going to talk about, you know, what are the best setups that I've taken to take winning trades, how to find these setups, you know, based on, hammer candles, shooting star, what are the trigger points. But I tried to pack as much as I could today, guys. I literally tried to pack as much as I could. So hopefully you guys took some notes. You guys can share the notes with each other. So that way, when you're reading the notes, when you're doing your own studying, when you're watching other YouTube videos, when you're learning about trading, you can refer back to the notes that you took in this class, and you can learn all the definitions and understand the chart a little bit better. Okay, because you're not gonna you're not gonna learn technical analysis without charting your own stuff. Yeah, like you're not gonna be an expert on Bitcoin better than me if you're not like spending more time with Bitcoin than me. And I don't think there's a reason to be an expert in Bitcoin when I can explain to you what Bitcoin is doing. But you can find other coins. You can find like Solana, you can find like any coin, you can start to trade it and just make it your coin. Or you can trade with me. Just trade Bitcoin with me, trade Solana with me, trade all these things with me. Obviously, I may not be the most consistent, I may not be the most like accurate, because I have my own standard of living, I have my own life. But if you want to be better than me, then I'm giving you access to all the information that you need to be better than me. So I hope you guys are appreciating these calls. I hope you guys are showing up, um, out of your own free will and not just because you're paying for it. Well, this should be considered as a free mentorship. Like if people were to pay me to teach them this shit, they would pay me 5K plus. So I'm giving you guys this knowledge because I genuinely love the community of Involio. I do really appreciate like the amount of support that everyone's been showing me, for trading. I'm not the craziest trader. I'm not the best trader, but I do know how to manage my risk properly and take high winning trade setups. That's how I've been able to build up my portfolio, to 4,000% on the app. So hopefully you guys, by showing up to these calls, by learning every single week with me, you can start to take, trades and build your portfolio up to 4,000%. Now, you're not going to be a perfect trader right away, right? You're not going to be perfect at taking trades. You're not going to know, okay, should I trade on the 3 minute? Should I trade on the 15 minute? Should I take a trade right now? So don't rush. Don't rush into that. Like I know you're waiting for me to tell you like you're ready. You're ready to go out and take trades on your own, but you're not. You're not, right? Because you need to practice. You need to practice what? You need to practice like drawing down trend lines. You need to practice like identifying lows and highs. You need to practice, you know, like understanding like what an EMA is and VWAP is. Like that stuff, I'm not gonna sit down and explain to you the exact meanings of it, bro. Like you need to go and do your own research, right? When it comes to learning like what the VWAP, each single VWAP does on each time frame and how that price behavior works for the pair that you're trading, right? When I'm trading Bitcoin, I use VWAP on the daily, right? So on the daily, sorry, on a daily time frame, I'm trading on the 15 minute, right? So on the 15 minute, the VWAP tells me the relationship is what? Bearish if the price is under VWAP. The relationship is bullish if the price is above VWAP. So I gave you guys that definition, I gave you guys that meaning, but VWAP can mean a lot of different things, right? But that's the general definition. That's how I use it. EMAs, right, on Bitcoin can mean something completely different than what they mean on an altcoin that is a shitcoin. So next call, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to trade, properly, like how to trade coins like on the right time frame, how to measure your risk, how to do all these things, and how to find winning setups. Because like you're not gonna go and trade long off the support on a 3 minute. You're not gonna find a support line that you found on a 3 minute chart. And you're like, I'm gonna use a 3 minute chart. I'm gonna take a trade. Then you enter with like 100 grand, and then you wipe out that 100 grand, and then you come back to me and say, hey, Junior, by lesson number 3, you told me that I could trade on the 3 minute chart, and I did, and I lost my 100 grand, or I lost my money, I lost my bills. I don't want you to do that. So don't rush into trading. Don't rush into trading. Like finish the entire lessons, finish the courses that I'm gonna give you guys. And when I tell you you're ready to trade, then you can start to trade. But right now you're not ready to start trading. Yeah, you can, trade off the pattern shapes, trend shapes. You can all of the price moves within. Junior told me the price moves within, or Junior told me that the price bounces off this, or Junior told me to find like support setups, for long and long off support. That's what I'm gonna look for. Sure, you can start to trade based on those things right now, but like I wouldn't be confident in trading like by myself just based off this information. There's a lot more that we need to learn for you to be able to trade by yourself. So I know this is the third lesson. It's a lot of information. I'm doing my best to like teach you guys uh the sauce, okay? So before we end this call, I'm gonna run into another thing. I'm gonna introduce you guys to another website. I did this in the last call, but I'm gonna come into this website again. And when I do my analysis, I always do it based on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is my number one coin. But then I also find one or two coins for the day to trade, and that is based on the 24-hour percent change. So CoinMarketCap is a great website. One of my best strategies. So best strategy to find coins to do technical analysis on, and this could be your exercise for the week. Every day you come on here and you find the top three coins, okay? And what you chart them. Top three coins of 24-hour percent change and chart them. And when you chart these coins, okay, you will find the most volatile setups. So this is what I usually do, man. At the end of every day, like around this time, 12 a.m. EST, I just go on CoinMarketCap. I look at the top three coins and I try to find a setup. I try to find either a short or a long. And obviously now you guys know that longs are in favor in this market. So when you take a long, you're more likely to win. When you take a short, it's not that you're likely going to lose, but it's more than likely going to have to be closed early, or something's going to change, or something's going to go not according to plan, or shorts are just going to be harder to manage. Okay. So I hope you guys learned a lot in this call, man. I'm giving you guys some sauce. In the next call, we're gonna literally go through the live thing. So I'm gonna open CoinMarketCap. We're gonna chart the top three coins. We're gonna take a live trade together on the exchange, and yeah, we're gonna start trading. We're gonna start trading. We're gonna look at the different indicators, go deeper into EMAs, VWAP. Um, you know, we're gonna do a lot. We're gonna do a lot. So, guys, I know this was one of the most least organized calls. My schedule has been all over the place this week because I've been traveling, but we managed to get this out. We managed to get this call done. So I appreciate everyone for being here, guys. I'm gonna upload the recordings as usual. Okay. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to always ask me in my DMs. Feel free to ask in the chat. When I get to them, I'll get to them. I'll answer your question. Okay. But yeah, as far as this call goes, I know the last few calls have been on Sunday. I'm trying to make the calls on Friday, guys. If not on Friday, then maybe someday during the week, but just stay tuned. I'll let you know when the next call is. Okay. It's gonna be sooner than next week. So I want to start doing these calls more often because these calls are essentially going to be live trading calls. Okay. So once I'm done doing this free course for you guys that I promised, which is probably going to be somewhere in October, we'll start day trading together every week. We'll have one day trading session. Okay. And I was gonna do that anyway. That's what the weekly calls were gonna be, but I figured record the course, give it out for free to the students that get into the academy and yeah, try to teach everyone trading. So I know the call cut off during this lesson. If you're watching this recording, I'm sorry. Just kind of check the notes. I will try to record a V2 of this course in the future, but if you are watching this course and there was a part of the call that cut off, my laptop died. Honestly, it was out of my control. And then we forgot to record the call for a little bit. So maybe if you see some stuff in the notes that wasn't in the call, apologies for that. But I'll try to like look at the notes for the next course. Okay. So when I film V2 of this course, I'll look at the notes. I'll try to like cover everything that I talked about. But guys, I tried to give you guys as much as I could in this call. Okay. Um, if there's any questions, if there's anything that you're confused about, just ask me, bro. Okay? You can ask me in the DM, you can ask me in the Academy chat. What exchange do I use? I use BitGet. 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 BitGet is very good, bro. They have like Messi as their like face of the app, which is pretty cool. Messi is the GOAT. Um, so yeah, BitGet is what I use. Highly recommend them. They are the platform with the least manipulation. And I think BitGet is pretty good, you know? It's pretty cool. I got size algorithm by just asking him, bro. I just told him, yo, let me pay for it. He said, no, I don't want you to pay for it. Just have it for free. So that's how I got it, bro. But yeah, guys, appreciate you for being in the call. I always love doing these calls because they're recorded. People can watch them over and over. And I think the people who come in and watch these lessons are like the hungriest. You guys are like the hungriest. So I'll pray for you guys. I'll say a quick prayer. God, please allow us to have an easy rest of the year. Allow us to have a fruitful and successful rest of the year. Allow us to be, a source of motivation and financial success for the people that love us and the people that are around us. And God, I hope that you allow us to be successful in the Crypto Futures Academy. I hope that you reward everyone who puts in the time into these charts with confidence and with profits and with winning trades. And God, at the end of the day, a lot of us could be doing other things. We could be, trading drugs. We could be doing bad things. We could be OnlyFans managers. We could be doing much worse things in the world, but we're choosing to be traders. So God, please allow us to be successful in this. And hopefully this can be a way out for all of us and everyone that puts in the time. So that was the end of this call, guys. That was a nice little prayer, amen. And listen, at the end of the day, people might not be showing up to these calls, 10 people. First call, we had like 70 people. But the main thing you should tell yourself is, what am I learning, right? What am I taking away from these calls? And I want you to be able to be a master at technical analysis. Master that. Be comfortable with it. I want you to open any chart and be able to identify what the highs and the lows, support and resistance, right? Right? The wave structure. That's what we're going to go into next call. We're going to talk about Elliott wave theory and winning strategies and all of these different things that you're going to be able to have as long as you avoid technical analysis paralysis, right? Which is what we covered in this call, how to avoid analysis paralysis, right? And how to find winning setups. So by finding the winning setup on a certain pair, so in crypto, we already know we conquered crypto because Bitcoin is the king of crypto. So if we conquer Bitcoin, we become kings of crypto, right? And what did we say? The winning setup on Bitcoin is what? Longing off support. That's it, bro. You see, trading is not hard, bro, but you just gotta be patient and you gotta sit through You got to wait. So long off support, those are the highest confidence setups. Those are the ones that are most likely going to hit. And yeah, let's focus on, practicing the lower time frame. Try to like trade over the weekend on lower time frame with technical analysis. See if it's right or wrong. See what kind of setups are hitting the most on lower time frames. Try to predict those. And yeah, bring 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 a lot of confidence into the next call. I want you to like be on the charts, do a lot of technical analysis, watch the calls over, figure out all the definitions and stuff. Like, don't come into the next call not understanding like technical analysis. Don't come into the next call still asking questions about what's happening in these calls or like what these calls have covered. I want you to understand everything that was covered in the calls, understand every single definition, so that way when you come into the next call and you see me taking trades, you're like, you understand exactly why I'm taking that trade. And once you get to that stage, that's it. We can start trading together. Okay. So I'm so grateful for you guys listening throughout this entire lesson. And yeah, call number three, this session number three wraps up the essentials of technical analysis. Dude, we've covered almost everything that we need. Like literally, we're almost done. You're almost gonna be able to bake your own cake. Okay. Um, you're gonna be able to chef it up. You're gonna be able to cook your own signals soon. So next session will be the culmination of this entire free course. It'll be the end of the free course. It'll be, the end of this 12-hour course that I recommend everyone in the world to watch or do or at least join once in their life just to be able to learn technical analysis from scratch. And yeah, I love taking my time, man. I don't like rushing. I don't like to organize my thoughts so much to the point where I have to like put it in a time limit. Just let it flow, let the information flow out. I'm very, very motivated to teach and to give you guys this information. So why not? We just let the recordings run and we talk. Okay. So, but with that, we'll let the call end here. I don't want to drag this on too much because I want the next lesson to be even more powerful. So for this call, we covered a lot. If you want to go back and listen to the recordings, it's going to be uploaded on YouTube as usual. If you have any questions, guys, just make sure you ask me. All right. Um, I know it's getting harder and harder to stay focused with every call because there's a lot of different definitions and different ideas. But once you guys see me get on the exchange and start to take some trades next call, you'll feel a lot more comfortable with the information I've shared. It's really hard to have just one website like TradingView and say that you're gonna master it in 3 days or 9 hours, right? Um, but that's essentially what I've done in the last three calls with you. You have become a master of TradingView. You have become a master of TradingView. Okay. And we're going to prove that next call. We're going to prove that because if you understand why I take the trades on the next call and why these trades are happening and why these setups are actually proper setups, then you're going to be able to start trading on your own after the next call. So far, these three calls, you can't trade on your own. Next call, you probably will be able to trade on your own. So that's why the next call is very important. Make sure you show up to the next call. And yeah, if you're not confident on technical analysis yet, I'll just suggest go back, watch the last three calls over and over again until you get it. Um, and yeah, hopefully, guys, it was a good pace. That's what I worry about. I always worry about the pace. I don't want anybody to be left behind. If you join the call, I want you to stay on top of it. And yeah, I appreciate everyone who's patient. The people who already get it, the people who already understand, and they're waiting for me to give them more. I really do appreciate you guys for being patient, man. All right. Next call, we'll drop even more sauce. All right. Next call is when we talk about the winning strategies. Like seriously. We'll talk about fractals. We'll talk about, confirmations of entry triggers. We'll talk about multi-time frame alignments. We'll talk about, yeah, we'll talk about a lot. We'll talk about Fibonacci levels, market imbalances, Elliott wave theory, stop loss and take profit strategies. So stop loss strategy was ATR, take profit strategies with fib levels. Um, and we'll pretty much like kind of I'll give you guys all my indicators. I know you guys want the indicators right now. Like, yo, give me all your indicators, bro. Let me download them. But let me do that on the next call. Okay. Let me cook. Let me get everything ready for you guys for next call. And then next call, I'll give you guys my indicators. I'll give you guys my trades, like how I'm gonna post my trades and everything. I'll give you guys everything in the next call. Okay. So by next call, you'll be able to trade. This call, not yet. I know you're kind of like excited. You're like, I'm almost there, but give it one more week. I promise. One more week, bro. Okay, give me 3 more hours with me, and you'll be able to trade by yourself. All right, you're almost there, man. So appreciate you guys once again. It's been your boy Junior. Man, let's just sail the seas tomorrow. Just hop on the app and be ready to take a trade. Because you already know we're looking for a long in the next 5 days. So probably going to be long in the market. Probably going to be finding some juicy long setups. So see you guys on the app tomorrow. And with that, it's been an absolute fucking pleasure, guys. Honestly, shout out to everyone that's still on this call. All right. I want you guys to remember this. I want you guys to remember these times that you're putting in and just be grateful that we have a community that's this strong, man. All right. Involio is always going to stay on top. Remember, if you want to be a trader, seek to build a good account on Involio. And who else can teach you how to build a good account on Involio to make money other than me, who literally has a great account on Involio? Like, it's very rare to get this opportunity, guys, but I'm being as genuine as possible. I think Involio is the best platform in the world. I think this is going to benefit a lot of people. That's why we're recording it. That's why we're doing this. And if you're here live, man, you're a special person. You're a special person. You mean a lot to me. Okay? So I'll see you guys on the next call. Appreciate you and have a great, great night. Peace, guys. Absolute pleasure. This is going to be uploaded in the next like hour. So if you guys want to watch the call again tomorrow, whenever, I'll post a link in the chat. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Peace, guys.